Hello students, in today's lesson we are going to be talking about differentiation. Differentiation could sound new topic, but I'm pretty sure you would have done something connected to this, which is nothing but gradient, right? We all know how to find a gradient of a straight line graph. For straight line graphs, gradient is nothing but rise over run. And it's constant throughout, isn't it? The entire line follows the same gradient. But how about a curve? For curved graphs, how will you find out the gradient? To find out the gradient, we can draw the straight lines like this. We call these straight lines as tangents. I'm pretty sure you would have done these things, right? The straight line I drew over here is called a tangent, right? And you need to draw loads of tangents here because every different point actually has a different gradient and the nature changes. The first one, like if I show you this one has a positive gradient, whereas the other one has a negative gradient, and it goes positive again. See? So the curved graphs or curves, they just change their gradient because the curve itself is changing. To find out the gradient of something which is changing again and again, I mean the curve has different gradient, we use differentiation. So differentiation or derivative of a function gives us the gradient of curved graphs. Okay, so now let's understand how to do that. We have understood what it is, now let's understand how to do that. For that we use power rule. So if I say y equals x to any power like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, anything, but I would generalize it to be n. If you have x to n, and n could be any number, like it could be a fraction, it could be integer, anything. So what we're going to be doing, we have just two steps and it's super easy, right? So first thing, when you find out the gradient, what to write on left. So we are finding out dy by dx. What do we read it as? Dy by dx, or we call it we are differentiating y with respect to x. Does that make sense? What are we doing? We are differentiating y. We have y over here, and we are differentiating that with respect to x. That's what we are writing. So we write dy over dx, dy by dx, and what it gives, the first step is bring down n. So I'm bringing it down, then just keep your x as it is and reduce it by 1, reduce the power by 1. So n minus 1, right? So what was the first step? If I write the first step, it was bring down the indices. I don't know, I feel like I said bring down x earlier. So forget about that. Bring down the indices and reduce it by, the next step is reduce it by 1. That's it. Now let's try implementing the same. Say for example, we have a question, okay. We have a question, y equals x to 7, x to the power of 7. What the first step is? The first step is, let me write dy by dx. First step is bring down the power, and the power is 7. We are bringing it down and reduce it by 1. And here we go. That's our answer. 7x to 6. Correct? Hope that makes sense. It's truly the easiest part of maths. Now let's move to the next part where we are going to be discussing some questions very quickly. So I'm giving you 2 questions. You just pause the video and quickly do that and match it with me. So what we're going to be getting, if we differentiate that, we are going to be getting 8x to 7. Just reduce it by 1. And there we get 10x to 9. Perfect. Now let's move to the coefficient rule. It's not like a rule or something, but yeah, to simplify the content and make you understand better, I just have broken it down over here. So we get questions, the initial part is clear. If we get something like y equals 5x to 4, how will we handle these type of questions? So for that, If you think you can try, give it a shot. You can pause it, try it yourself. Else do with me. So we will keep 5, forget about 5, okay? We are freezing 5. How about x to 4? We know x to 4 differentiates to 4x cubed. And outside you have 5. And a number multiplying with a number gives us 20x cubed. That's it. Make sense? Let's do the question together. So if I say you have y equals minus 2x to 7. Okay, differentiate that. Many of you have the answer actually in your head. Okay, that's great. Just write it down in your notebook. The more you write, the more muscle practice you give. So keep doing that. So 7 times, okay, again the same thing, minus 2 outside. We are having 7x to 6, correct? So that makes minus 14x to 6, correct? Let's have 2 questions to be done super quickly. Minus 4x to 10, and the other question is 3/5 of x to 5 maybe, right? Let's try. So for the first one, dy by dx is minus 4, it goes to 10x to 9. That turns out to be minus 40x to the power of 9. Because we just have started, I would avoid giving you any shortcut, or you just think of your short trick. Soon you will be understanding that why this step, as you go gradually increasing your understanding, you would get the pace where you are going to be just multiplying the coefficient and power and reducing it by 1. But it is unnecessary to include loads of steps. Okay, if this comes, you do like that, think like that. If that comes, think like that. No, your basic understanding should be strong, and then you yourself should be able to explore things. Okay, now how about this one? For the other one, dy by dx is 3/5. We will keep it like that, and that turns out to be 5x to 4. If you simplify it more, 3/5 of 5. So 3/5 of 5, that's 3 only, no? So we get 3x to 4. And that's what our final answer is. Good. Now let's move to the constant rule. Constant rule is like if you have y equals 5, like there we have no x present, no variable present. How will you do that? And if I just change the approach, if I say, you have some x over here, would you try thinking of what indices of x you have that is making it hidden, invisible? It makes it disappear, but it's an x. What power of x makes it disappear? That sounds like secret codes or something. 5 times 1 is 5, right? Okay, when do we get 1? What power of x gives us 1? Think. Many of you are getting the answer. Yes, x to the power 0 gives us 1. So can we write it x to 0? Right? X to 0. And when you differentiate that dy by dx, what you're going to be doing? You're going to be multiplying this 0 with the existing coefficient. What will happen? It will turn out to be 0 only. It will turn out to be 0. So that means when you differentiate the constant, it gives you nothing but 0. Correct? Okay, let's have some questions discussed. Just 2 questions quickly. So y equals 7 and y equals minus 3a. Yeah, so dy by dx will be, it's just the constant, so 0, and that is also 0. Make sense? If I say y equals x cubed plus 7, how about that one? You have 2 terms over here, no? That's the first term and 7 is the second term. How will we do these type of questions? To differentiate that, we will be, the first one is super simple, 3x squared, and that will turn out to be 0. So whether you write it or not, you can just simply leave it as this. Correct? Now we will have some exam style questions. So let's try understanding our exam style questions. We have a long string of terms over here and we have to differentiate that. So what we're going to be doing, we will be considering it one by one. Okay. So let's say, for example, we are just looking at 3x to 4. Correct. So dy by dx is going to be, what about 3x to 4? You can write it down as a separate question and think of it. So that will make us 3, 4x cubed, that is 12x cubed. Or if you are getting the understanding that, yeah, my indices is going to be multiplying with the coefficient, that will give me 12 and I have to reduce the indices. So that gives us 3. Let's try the same thing for this one. You have to go with your pace, right? And the best part of these, lessons is like you can pause, you can practice, you can come back. It's not like the teachers you have to make the pace with the teacher, right? So you can adjust the pace of these lessons based on your pace and improve, grow accordingly. So for this one, we have indices 3 and coefficient 2. So if you are still into the separate one, so we are going to be copying it down. We will keep 2 there and 3x squared, correct? What we have to do next? 6x squared. So the final answer comes 6x squared minus. How about this one? Yeah, that's a good one. What we're going to be getting if we have to differentiate minus of 5x? Minus of 5x. So what indices do we have for x? Many a times I get the answer to be 0. You can't see any number on x, that means it's 0. How many of you literally relate with this? Do you feel like it's 0 or something else? It is not 0 but 1, right? So if you have x over there, that means you have 1, right? If you have an apple there, how to draw an apple? Okay, something like that. If you have an apple, so what we're going to be calling it an apple. That means it is there. And if I represent an apple with a, that means it is present over there. So similarly, just a single variable means we have 1 there. And you all are higher. I don't think we need to go that level to make it understand. So minus 5x to 1. So 1 will multiply with minus 5. So that will give us minus 5 only, and x to the power of 1 minus 1. That means minus 5x to 0. And that turns out to be, this completely turns out to be 1. We already have discussed earlier, isn't it? Somewhere. Yeah, this is 1. So this would turn out to be 1. That means we will get only minus 5. So I'm going to be writing minus 5 here. And what about the constant? This constant plus 7, the constant changes to 0. We already have done. So either you write plus 0 or not, that doesn't matter. So this is your final answer. 12x cubed plus 6x squared minus 5. Right? What is the takeaway from this question? It was important. Right? Minus 5x, so you have to reduce it by 1. When you reduce x by 1, it turns out to be 0. That means it's in its hidden form. It disappears. Now let's try this. I'll keep myself very quiet and you have to just pause the video, think about the question and come back. Look at the answer and just appreciate yourself if you get it correct. So we're going to be getting 8x to 3 plus 10x only minus 7. And that's my final answer. Right? For you, if you still feel like you need some support, let me just very quickly tell you. 2x to 4, keep 2 aside, 4 comes down, indices reduces by 1. So we get 4 times 2, that is 8, and 8x cubed, we drop it there. Now comes 5x squared. So for 5x squared, what do? 5x squared. Keep 5 aside, 2 times x. And indices is 2 minus 1, that is 1. So 10x. And when you have just x, it gives you the constant, like the coefficient of x only, right? And the constant goes 0. That's all about understanding the first part of the differentiation, where we only discussed about positive powers. Now let's have a few questions done. So the first question we have is to determine the result of x to the power 10 after applying the power rule. So we have y equals x to the power of 10. What the derivative would be? So dy by dx is 10x to the power of 10 minus 1, that is 10x to the power of 9. What is the option there? C. Let's check, and that's correct. Let's move to the next question. We have y equals x cubed. Let's differentiate this. So dy by dx will be 3x squared, which is B part. Let's check. Yeah, that's correct. Moving to the next question, we have 10x cubed. 10x cubed, what it gives? 10 times 3 is 30. Reduced by 1, that means 30x squared. And yes, that's correct. Next question, we can just directly do 3x to the power of 7. What we have to do? Indices multiplies with the coefficient, that gives us 21, and we actually have only one option. But yes, if we do completely, indices reduces by 1, so we get 6. And that's absolutely correct. For these type of questions, let's use the working area. So we have y equals 9x to 5 plus 3x squared minus 4x minus 10. How to do that? So dy by dx would be, we will consider each of the term individually, right? So only 9x to 5 first. So 9x to 5 gives us indices multiplying with the coefficient gives us 45. Reduce the indices by 1. Yes, that's it. Indices times coefficient, that gives us 6. Reduce it by 1. So 2 take away 1 is 1. Minus, when you have only x, you get the coefficient left. And for the constant terms, we have it 0. So it matches with the first option. Let's check, and it's correct. Again, one more exam style question. We have 5x to the power of 6 minus 2x to the power of 4 minus 8x minus 24. Okay. So what the first derivative would be? Multiplying the indices and the coefficient, that gives us 30. Reduce the indices by 1, that's 5. Perfect. Minus 4 times 2 is 8. Reduce the indices by 1, that's 3. Minus 8 only, and that's 0. This is our final answer that matches with, not this, sorry. I guess this one. And yes, so that's it about the practice. I hope you've understood this. In next lesson, we'll talk about negative indices.